Later.
I'm not going to name names.
No, don't.
I was about to name a name there, but I'm not going to. I went to a New Year's Eve party, and I was 17 or 18. I can't remember which. And all of my year, some of the year below, some of the year above, all went to this New Year's Eve party. It was really odd, like the shape of the house. It was a very odd setup, like as in they had a conservatory, but the way to access that conservatory was like walking along the side of the house, and walking along the side of the house meant like it was right beside like a drop, like quite a steep drop, and at the bottom of that drop was like concrete slabs with like every so often there would be like metal spikes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Or risky. And I'm sure that this is like consistent with everyone else's high school experience, but like as a girl, like it was kind of like expected to wear high heels. I was constantly walking at 6 foot, like actually probably taller. And so I had these quite high heels on. Everyone was like completely rat-assed, as you are when you're 17. And I was walking along, and naturally I don't really remember it, but interestingly, like I think this is probably my most like near-death experience, like my most, because I was walking along, and I'll tell you how I remember it, and then I'll tell you the version that then got spread around the school. So how I remember it is I was walking along. It was
with your Zimmer frame.
With my Zimmer frame and my splints.
A week later.
Yeah, fresh out the auditorium. It was actually a celebration from me and my life. Yeah. No, so it was very narrow, and I remember walking along, and just like quite simply, like there was like a flow of traffic like both ways, and the flow that I was in was on the outside closest to the drop. And I do just remember like losing my balance, like people were drunk, like they were kind of pushing into each other as they were, like, and I did just like fall, and I fell, and like I don't remember the fall. When I look back on it, it's really weird, like it's as if I've like bird's eye view of it, of like how I would picture it happening, but basically tumbling backwards. Fortunately didn't hit a metal spike, because everyone was like, if you had hit a metal spike you would have died, but hit like the edge of a concrete thing, had a huge cut on my head, on my like skull, and then had to get carried up by like 4 guys of my year, blood everywhere, like taken in. I was like fully knocked out and came to as I was being like carried in, and I was being carried in. And then, like, immediately, like, the ambulance was thrown, but I was completely on my tits. I was like, what are you fucking doing? Like, my dad's a doctor. Like, this is such a waste of time. Like, don't waste the ambulance's time. I'm fine. Give me a tea towel and a beer and I'll be good. And, like, they were like, no, we need to really, like, obviously the dad at the party was like, I really don't want a lawsuit. So, like, we're really going to get you into hospital. And I was like, honestly, I'm fine. Like, I'm just drunk. Like, and blood all down my face. And I was like, just leave me be. Like, I'll be fine. Anyway, so I have to go into the back of the hospital, the ambulance. What is so funny?
Back of the hospital.
Back of the hospital. I have to go in the back. I have to go in the back. What is so funny is I think Brody...
Brody was there?
I think Brody was there, but I think he, like...
Pushed you?
No, it was him. He was actually the one who got hit. No, he said, I think the way he tells it, like, he cut himself doing something, and the way he describes it is like, I was like, oh man, that's so sweet. They phoned an ambulance for me. He starts walking over to the ambulance. He's like, oh, guys, you've obviously overreacted, but I'm happy to come with you. And meanwhile, I'm getting carried out like a body. Oh my God. And he was like, shit, it's for Freya.
Oh, shit. God,
and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I thought you were here for me.
I have a little cut. Can you put a plaster on me?
Paper cut.
Thank you so much for coming. Can you stitch this?
Then I'm literally carried out pretty much in a body bag, like with just my head popping out. Yeah, so go to hospital. My mum's basically have to like get my head stitched up. Yeah, my friend is so drunk at the time. She's training to be she's applying to medical school. And obviously I'm finding it funny because I think I'm so like
You had a concussion.
numb. Well, that, and also
Yeah.
I'm so numb to like medical experiences because my parents, like I used to like go to like my parents' hospitals like on days that they couldn't get someone to look after me. Like I used to
Yeah.
go and like sit in my dad's office and stuff. So I'm just so numb to like the clinical side of things that I was kind of laughing, and they had to like shave around the cut and inject me with an anesthetic. And my friend who was like, she was like filming it like, and then, and then the nurse was like, can you get the camera out of the way? And she was like, filming it like, and then so then I had to be kept in overnight for observation, woken up every 3 hours. I would not recommend it. And then was like pretty much stranded in hospital the next day because it's my mum's birthday on New Year's Day. And I had to phone.
Wait, this was a New Year's party?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What a way to start the new year.
Yeah. Actually, I would argue it's the best way because it really is rock bottom. So like, it only does. It really,
only gets better.
It really does only get better.
You almost got impaled.
I know.
What the hell?
I'd probably survive it, knowing my luck.
Oh God, I'm fine.
Just
Don't
give
waste
me
the
a beer.
ambulance on me.
I actually
This
hate people
happens
wasting
so
the
often.
ambulance, though. It's like my pet peeve. So
Yeah.
like, Carla was never wanting to be that dickhead. So
Yeah. That's so crazy.
die on the streets. Don't waste the ambulance.
I've got a story. You've just reminded me of one. Because it's like in theme with, I think I was like 16 at the time when this happened. And